Thomas Shelby versus Michael Corleone. The Gypsy King versus the Godfather. 10 rounds, 10 scores, 1 verdict. Court is now in session. We bring before this court two of the most calculated criminal minds of the 20th century. No romanticization, only facts and consequences. Let the trial begin. Round 1. Origin and path to power. Thomas Shelby survived the horrors of World War I, including tunnel warfare and severe PTSD. He returned to Birmingham with nothing but a razor blade in his cap and a fierce belief in his destiny. From a small street gang, he built a powerful, legitimate business empire while battling trauma and opium addiction. Michael Corleone was a decorated war hero who tried to live an honest life away from the family business. After an assassination attempt on his father, he underwent one of the most dramatic transformations in cinema, from a reluctant outsider to a ruthless successor. Shelby 9. For rising from absolute zero under extreme personal trauma. Corleone 8. Started with significant inherited resources. Round 2. Leadership philosophy. Thomas Shelby leads through magnetic charisma, poetic threats, and calculated unpredictability. He makes people believe in his vision, even in the most dangerous moments. His famous line, "Everyone's a whore, we just sell different parts," reveals his cynical understanding of human nature. Michael Corleone leads through absolute emotional detachment and strategic patience. He famously said, "Never tell anyone outside the family what you're thinking." He removes threats with surgical finality. Shelby 9. Corleone 9. Both demonstrate exceptional but fundamentally different leadership styles. Round 3. Business strategy and empire building. Thomas Shelby rapidly expanded from illegal betting to legitimate businesses, including racecourses, distilleries, and political influence. He constantly took enormous risks. Michael Corleone took a powerful but old-fashioned family operation and professionalized it, moving into gambling, unions, and politics, while removing competition with cold precision. He successfully transitioned the family into legitimate business. Shelby 8. Built a vast empire from nothing through chaos and bold vision. Corleone 10. Turned blood money into legitimate power. Round 4. Psychological warfare. Thomas Shelby weaponizes fear and reputation. He understands tribal psychology and uses public displays of power to break his enemy's will. Michael Corleone is a master of long-term psychological pressure. He studies his opponents for months, exploits weaknesses, and strikes when they are most vulnerable. Shelby 8. Master of shock tactics and charisma. Corleone 10. Superior in long-term planning and psychological warfare. Round 5. Emotional control and inner demons. Thomas Shelby is consumed by war trauma, grief, and burning ambition. His emotions are a dangerous double-edged sword. They drive his vision but constantly cloud his judgment, leading to both brilliant moves and costly mistakes. He fights an endless internal war. Michael Corleone made the cold decision to bury his humanity. He became so emotionally detached that he could make the hardest choices without hesitation or regret. His self-control is absolute and terrifying. Shelby 7. A brilliant mind forever haunted and driven by his inner turmoil. Corleone 10. Master of complete emotional suppression and ice-cold discipline. Round 6. Family and loyalty. Thomas Shelby genuinely cares for his family and wants to protect them, yet his relentless ambition repeatedly drags them into extreme danger. His hunger for power and control often puts the people he claims to love at risk, forcing them to live in constant fear and uncertainty. Michael Corleone started with deep family values and a strong desire to protect his loved ones. However, as he consolidated power, he made cold, calculated decisions that ultimately left him completely isolated. In the end, the very empire he built to secure his family became the reason he lost them. Shelby 8. Corleone 8. Both ultimately struggled to protect their families. Round 7. Legacy and final truth. Thomas Shelby secretly funded and supported Jewish refugees in the 1930s, despite the rising anti-Semitism in Britain, an act that put his entire empire at risk. He also suffered from vivid hallucinations and survivor's guilt so severe that he once tried to drown himself in a lake, only to be saved by his brother. Michael Corleone, after becoming Don, secretly financed several Catholic charities and churches in Sicily as a form of atonement, while simultaneously ordering hits on former allies. He also developed a deep distrust of his own children, refusing to fully involve them in the family business out of fear they would become like him. Shelby, 8. A man who carried both immense guilt and unexpected compassion. Corleone, 9. The perfect Don who could never escape the weight of his calculated soul. Final score. Thomas Shelby, 57. Michael Corleone, 64. Winner, Michael Corleone. Thomas Shelby, you were a visionary storm of charisma and violence. Michael Corleone, you became the cold perfection of calculated power. In the Game of Thrones and Empires, ice ultimately prevails over fire. Winner, Michael Corleone. Court is adjourned.